Now move on to next section. So my next topic of discussion is user and group definition. So we have users and user groups. If I open Jaguar administration tool, you can see in the top menu we have two options. One is user groups and another one is users. So if I click on user group, so in user group we have list of user groups, and the user group option is used to specify working methods and authorization by grouping users within the same organization structure. That means the users who belong to the same organization can come to a same group based on their working methods and authorization given to them. So users can be assigned to different groups by their functions. Again, transactions and information allowed for group users are specified by assigning authorization to user groups. So based on the authorizations given to an user group, the user who assigned to that group can able to get same authorization for transactions and other information. So again, users and groups are defined by first specifying the groups and then the related user. Defining user authorization through group generated according to function or company practice rather than assigning authorization separately for each user facilitates work authorization and provide data security. So suppose if I am creating one user and I will give the authorization to that user, so after creating each user I have to create same authorization for all the users. If it will be better if I create one group and give authorization to that group, and all the users who belong to that group will get that authorization facility. It also provides the data security as well. Now groups and users are defined by processing, company locations and procedures. So users can be grouped according to their locations and functions. Now I am going to create one group by clicking the new button given below. So as you can see in the group definition page, the number or code and the name field of the group, which are the mandatory fields. Again, there is a limit in the name field. If you enter the name, then see there is a limit. So based on the limit, we have to enter the name. So be careful again with the naming. So again, in the number section, you can create at most 9,999 groups. So that number of groups you can create by entering the number like that in a serial way. So again, when it comes to license package membership, again another important thing is that when you have your group, then you need to add your license package to those group. If you don't do this, nobody can have access of anything in this system, not even administrator. Suppose if I am going to purchase one Jaguar product, then along with the product you will able to get one user credential and as well as the license key package. So when you install product in your system, then after install the product, you have to install the license package as well. Then only you can log in with your dealer user ID and password. So after login in the system, when you create one user or user group, then we have to mention the license package that is given to that user. So here you can mention that license package details. Now another option, that is rights option. This indicates the authorization level of the defined group. The field contains options like users, subsystem administrator, supervisor, and other access right as well. So I prefer the user right to give rights to users who belongs to that group. Again, the system administrator includes users with access to the administration section. Furthermore, these users have access to any features of the application as well. Users cannot access the administration section. Even they are assigned with any possible authorizations and rights. So administrator have different authorization right and users have different authorization rights. Again, the next option, that is the block user option. So if you select yes here, then the user who belongs to the same group can able to block any other users who belong to the same group. So I am selecting the block user option as no, and I am giving the name of that user group as group 2. Now I am going to save that group by clicking the save button. So the newly created group is getting added in the list of groups with the name as group 2. Now I'm going to create an user for that group. So go to user, click on new. Here also you can see two fields, the number and the name fields, which are the mandatory fields. So I am giving the name of that user as user2, and I am giving it full name as demo user. Then it is asking for password, so I am entering the password, and again I am retyping the password. So the other options, that is you can select the password as a temporary password. That means when you first time go to login in Jaguar client tool, so that time it will ask to enter a new password. This password will get expired. Again I am selecting the next option, that is password never expire. That means when you use this password that will never expire. Again I can disable the password such that you don't need to enter password while login in Jaguar client. You can log in using only user ID. So again in license section you have to mention the license package membership details. So the license package, when you purchase the product, you will get that license package details. The license details you have to mention here. So based on that details, suppose if a license package consists of 10 users, so at most that 10 users can able to access that product at a time. Again, the type of user we can select as a normal user, or a platform user, or an employee, or restricted user, or any other user option as well. Again in the default section we have to mention the name of the company, in which company the user is belongs to. So I am selecting the company as XYZ Private Limited as the company of that user, and you can specifically mention the company details like subsidiary details, in which subsidiary that user is working, in which division, in which org units, in which warehouse, in which department he belongs to, and also we can mention the authorization code for that user. I will discuss that authorization code later in my next topic. Suppose that user belongs to multiple companies, then you can select the one company as a default company. Based on that company you can access that user. You can able to log in the Jaguar client. Now the next section is access restriction section. Here you can block any user by clicking the block user option, and based on that user will able to block any other users as well. The group section consists of the options. Here you have to mention the in which group the user is belongs to. So I am selecting the group for that user, so that I have created. So I am selecting group 2 for that user. Now in the advanced section you have to select the language, in which language the user will able to access the Jaguar client. So I am selecting the language as English. So all the options when user will log in the Jaguar client will be in English language. Then you can mention the time zone based on the location of the user. Again, in the email server, you can enter the details of the email server, and so based on that details, all the informations and notifications, everything will go for that product to that user email ID. You can also configure the LDAP user account as an user account. For that particular group, we no need to create a new user. You can just mention the particular Microsoft account or Azure server account details as an user account. You can check that. So I am going to save that user now by clicking the save button. Now the user is getting created, which is belongs to the group 2. So this is all about users and user groups. Thank you.